We are heartbroken by the tragic loss of Alex Pretty that occurred yesterday in Minneapolis. We extend our love, support, and heartfelt sympathies to Alex's family, friends, and our community during this difficult time. Please join us in honoring the life and memory of Alex Pretty with a moment of silence.
Well, so much for a moment of silence, right? But let's stop it right here, because this matters for one reason. This is an NBA arena, not a protest outside. This isn't social media. This is a league-sanctioned moment of silence that got hijacked, it seemed, at the end right there. So the question isn't why people are mad. The question is how this made it inside of that building. Obviously, it's Minnesota, and people have the sides that they want to take and stuff like that. But once you see who's validating it, it'll make much more sense.
Played in tonight.
It was definitely that. As you know, there's a lot of heavy hearts, and a lot of things, especially this Minneapolis community. Yesterday was rough. It's been rough, I know, out here. And you can kind of feel it when we got here, 2 days ago. Protests that were going on downtown. It was amazing to watch the turnout and peaceful protests, and the unified voice that was here. And you feel like that would kind of turn the tide, to a more positive direction. And you wake up in the morning and you see what happened. So obviously, there was no need and no place to have a game yesterday, and it's filtered over a little bit to the atmosphere today, like you said, as it should. There's a lot of change that needs to happen, and when you're here and you feel it, I was glued to the TV yesterday when we weren't playing, just watching the coverage and understanding what was going on and trying to really, get knowledgeable about it. And hopefully, again, the community kind of comes together and the right decisions are made so that there's more of a peaceful, environment here.
Moses mentioned being in his room and physically seeing the protests go through downtown.
I got videos on my phone of it all the way down. It was 3 straight hours in negative 10-degree weather. It was beautiful to see that turnout, and that speaks to how important people felt to have their voice heard, and those elements and whatever streets right outside our hotel, they were out, and it was amazing to watch.
So your day yesterday, were you part of the conversation on if the game should have gone on or not?
I talked to Coach, who was talking to obviously the Wolves organization, Timberwolves organization, and it was very similar to. It's hard to catch up to everything that's going on here in the community when you just fly in and you understand what's going on, but how it affects players, the staff, the entire franchise, the families, and just supporting them in whatever decision made sense. Obviously talking to the league, so that was pretty much it.
Now this is where the shift happens, right? Now it's not just fans. It's Steph Curry out here saying that the protests and the riots essentially are beautiful. I'm saying with somebody like that, like Steph Curry says that he's not talking to protesters, he's talking to the culture. That's how an idea goes from street, I guess, to normal. But none of this starts in an NBA arena. It definitely started earlier than that.
And I believe we're going to win it because you know what? Revolutions come when incompetent leaders overestimate their power and they unleash solidarity and courage. And that's what's happening right now. We're at a pivotal point of 250 years of American history, and we are going to win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I we're going to win it because you know.
I believe, listen to what they're actually saying. They're not talking about a law. They're not talking about a policy. They're saying we believe, and this is a revolution. You know, that tells you this isn't about ICE anymore. It's about identity for some people. And once it becomes identity based, you know what happens. It spreads pretty fast. So apparently this traveled all the way here into Georgia. This is how you know it spread. These kids didn't come up with this on their own. Same slogan, same language, same targets. You know, that doesn't happen organically. It gets taught. And this right here just gave me a reminder that as a father, I'm going to have to prepare my children for stuff like this and what to do. Because, you know, they're much like their father in terms of their viewpoints. So, what does leadership do when it reaches this point?
It's almost Valentine's Day. We'll get a shot of it, so.
But thank you all.
Cup of coffee, sir? Chris, do you want on the end? Please, hot chocolate? Got donuts.
My boy said, got donuts. Oh, man. Yeah, this is the National Guard that Tim Walsh sent out in Minneapolis in Minnesota to aid the protesters. Is that what I'm getting from this? I mean, this right here is the left answer to this order. Not enforcement, accommodation. They believe if they make people feel comfortable, the problem just goes away. I wish. And that's why some people are just simply fed up. Y'all remember my Uncle Cliff?
Y'all hate him that much. Y'all hate Donald Trump that much for doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Right.
He was going to get illegal immigrants out of this country and make America great again. Y'all want to stop him from removing illegal people. You're harboring illegal felons, people that are illegally here. They're not supposed to be here. Common sense. Like a burglar in your house. Once again, a thief in your car. He's not supposed to be there. And you are harboring and protecting these people more than you protect your own children.
Come on now.
I guarantee there's black guys out there marching that can't even tell you what their kids had for dinner last night, but they out there protesting like they knew these motherfuckers that are being deported. Make it fucking make sense. You missing time at home with your family to support motherfuckers that ain't even legally supposed to be here. Are you that fucking simple-minded? I'm just saying, just go ahead and say we hate Trump and we are going to go against everything he fucking says. And that would make more sense than the fucking shit y'all got going on right now.
Yes, it would.
That's a fact. I'm just saying, fuck your feelings. Facts are facts.
I know that's right, man. Facts are facts. And I'm glad I was able to grow up and realize that that's just what it is. People say all the time, hey, you know, I respect people who have a different set of beliefs. And I just have to sit back I sat back one time and I said, it's not even that I have a different set of beliefs. Ultimately it rounds up to believing. But in theory, I don't believe any of this. It's just what it is. The sky is blue. I don't believe it's blue. I don't feel like it's blue. It is just blue. You know, that's how I explain to people. But you don't have to agree with how he says it, but you understand exactly what this means. You know, he's saying the obsession with Trump is so strong that people will excuse anything as long as it's anti-Trump. That's the whole TDS and how it works. Now, I want you to watch how the political class responds to this. Yeah, boy, Obama. Obama. Let me try to get through this, y'all. It says the killing of Alex Pretty is a heartbreaking tragedy. Okay, I completely messed that whole sentence up. Let's start over. The killing of Alex Pretty is a heartbreaking tragedy. It should also be a wake-up call to every American, regardless of party, that many of our core values as a nation are increasingly under assault. Really? The federal law enforcement and immigration agents have a tough job, but Americans expect them to carry out their duties in a lawful, accountable way and to work with rather than against state and local officials to ensure public safety. Dude, you're on record agreeing with this. You did the... Okay. That's what we're seeing in Minnesota. In fact, we're seeing the opposite. That's not what we're seeing in Minnesota. In fact, we're seeing the opposite is what he said. It says, for weeks now, people across the country have been rightfully outraged by the spectacle of mass ICE recruits and other federal agents acting with impunity and engaging in tactics that seem designed to intimidate, harass, provoke, and endanger the residents of a major American city. These unprecedented tactics, which even the former top lawyer of the Department of Homeland Security in the first Trump administration has characterized as embarrassing, lawless, and cruel, have now resulted in the fatal shootings of 2 U.S. citizens. Yo, you guys are intellectually, excuse me, my language, y'all, I gotta say this. You guys are fucking stupid. Like, people just listen to this BS and just go, oh, yeah. I don't even know where I was at. I said have now resulted in the fatal shootings of 2 U.S. citizens. And yet, rather than trying to impose some semblance of discipline and accountability over the agents they've deployed, the president and current administration officials seem eager to escalate the situation while offering public explanations for the shootings of Mr. Pretty and Renee Good that aren't informed by any serious investigation and that appear to be directly contradicted by video evidence. Are you serious? So you got President Trump telling local leaders and local officials, hey, work with ICE, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and work together. And you got these sanctuary cities harboring criminals, all these crooked judges and all this other stuff. Stop trying to prevent him from doing the job that you done had to operate. Y'all create all this chaos and then y'all do all this exciting violence. And you got Tim Walz out here telling people to keep fighting, telling people to keep showing up and do all this other stuff. And you got Tom Homan saying, hey, this can get dangerous. Trump saying, hey, this can get dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You got Caroline Leavitt, Secretary Noem. You got all these people telling you this can get dangerous. Y'all ignore it, and then people died, and all of a sudden, y'all forget. Now it's us escalating. It's Trump escalating it. Man, I can't read the rest of this. I could, but... Let me get through it quickly. This has to stop. I will hope that after this most recent tragedy, administration officials will reconsider their approach and start finding ways to work constructively with Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, as well as state and local police to avert more chaos and achieve legitimate law enforcement goals. In the meantime, every American should support and draw inspiration from the wave of peaceful protests in Minneapolis and other parts of the country. They are a timely reminder that ultimately it's up to each of us as citizens to speak out against injustice, protect our basic freedoms, and hold our government accountable. You notice what's missing here, though? No talk of law enforcement for real. Accountability on the other end of the stick of that. No talk of borders. Just emotions. Because emotions keep the argument vague. And then that's where Trump comes in and does the opposite. He says, I'm sending Tom home to Minnesota tonight. And he has not been involved in that area, but he knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough but fair and will report directly to me. Separately, a major investigation is going on with respect to the massive $20 billion plus welfare fraud that is taking place in Minnesota. And it is at least partially responsible for the violent organized protests going on in the streets. Additionally, the DOJ and Congress are looking at Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who left Somalia with nothing and is now reportedly worth more than $44 million. Time will tell all. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President DJT. Ah, man. This entire story, from protests to culture to institutions to, enforcement, this is just crazy. There's a difference, this is the difference, right? One side manages chaos. The other side is trying to end it. No slogans, no catering, you know what I'm saying? Just enforcement. And if this video made you uncomfortable, good. That means you were paying attention. And if you made it to the end, we're going to go back to a slogan we used before, which is a reality check. That way I know who watched and not just, reacted. It's for me, not even for the algorithm no more. Y'all be safe. Please go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. And also, man, I'm finna make a video for my members pretty soon. And I want y'all to kind of help me. I want to get y'all more involved with the process of the stories that we are following, because I definitely want to expand this channel outside of just one thing every single day, but I also don't want to just pull it in many different directions. Y'all be safe. Again, I already know my slogan. I said it already, but I'm saying it again. Be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.